all this furniture installment, how did it appear? Who made it? There's no profession to learn how to make furniture. So who made it, huh? What's up, gaming heroes? Welcome back to another awesome New World of Warcraft video. In today's video, I'm actually going to do something quite opposite to what I was planning to do for just general New World and World of Warcraft content. I'm going to make direct comparisons between New World and World of Warcraft, what I like about each game, and not just on a whole, but like some certain features that I like about each game, and just compare the two that I really think just in general World of Warcraft should have added in years ago, or what I think New World should add in right now. As always, thank you so much to my wonderful patrons on Patreon who are continuing to support me in my endeavor of becoming a full-time content creator. You guys are getting access to all my awesome World of Warcraft gold guides, and in the future, as long as I continue to play New World, I'm sure there'll be other New World guides on there as well. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, I do just quickly want to say, if you are a Blizzard employee or someone from Blizzard watching this, I genuinely really want to help the game improve. So take everything I say with constructive criticism in mind, because I genuinely love World of Warcraft and I would love that game to improve. This is some stuff that New World just does really, really well, and does frankly better than World of Warcraft. And World of Warcraft, Blizzard, you really need to pick up on this and add it to the game. Fishing. This is the most obvious thing ever. I've been saying this for literally years. About 4 or 5 years, I've been saying that fishing needs to be improved in World of Warcraft. It is trash. It is so crap in World of Warcraft. You just literally cast out and then wait for a fish to bite and click. Done. It is so boring. No one wants to do it. It's so easy that, like, botters can just program bots to do it. Why would you go fishing if a bot can do it for you? There's no point. But this in New World is way more fun. Look, you cast out. You get a bar to set how far you want to cast. Then the bobber lands and he says, get ready, and then you catch your fish. At this point, you've now got to reel it in. You've actually got like a mini game here where you've got to reel it in, but you can't reel in too quickly because the fish could break the line. It could snap, and if it snaps, you're not going to get your fishy. All the way in, boom, success, small bass. That is so much more engaging as gameplay for a player, and that is exactly what World of Warcraft should do. Honestly, I don't know how this isn't in the game. It should have been in the game years ago. Stardew Valley is getting to be an old game, and Stardew Valley has this exact same game mechanic in for their fishing that World of Warcraft just doesn't. For a really complex game, they should really rehaul their fishing mechanics all up. Cutting trees. I've been wanting literally logging and cutting trees in World of Warcraft for years. Why haven't we got this? It goes hand in hand with player housing. Having a ability to cut down trees, collect wood, means that you could add a secondary profession of carpentry into the game. This is technically like 3 different things that World of Warcraft should have in the game that we just don't, and we should have had this years ago. We shouldn't be playing catch up right now, Blizz. Allow us to cut down trees around the world easily. If we can cut down trees around the world, we can use the secondary profession of carpentry to turn that wood into furniture. And with furniture, we can put that in our player housing, or maybe even guild housing. Whatever it is, we want a place that we can hang out and actually customize and change to feel like our own place. That is exactly what World of Warcraft is missing, and what would be amazing about the game if it was included. I love coming onto New World just to cut trees. At the end of the night, I'm really tired. I've had a long day. My brain's not fully functioning anymore. I've got Netflix on one screen. I've got some trees on the other screen. And I'm just going around and I'm cutting trees. I'm picking up bushes. I'm killing rabbits. I'm skinning rabbits. That's all I care about. I'm a very simple person late at night. And I think there's a lot of people just like me. In World of Warcraft, it gets late, and what do? I don't know. Everything's really complex. Let's just simplify things down a little bit, Blizz, and make it super easy. Be able to cut some trees, take the trees over to our player housing, and turn those trees into some cool furniture. You can sell them on the auction house, or you can stick them in your player housing. That is a really cool, unique benefit of the game. We don't need more useless professions like archaeology. We need more professions that have a direct benefit on us as the player. I absolutely love coming to town and it doesn't matter what town it is in New World. It is so fun. The reason for that is I know that certain areas are going to be busy. I know the game's going to feel like there's a lot of players there, and it's just really fun to see. I can walk over to the smelter right here, and I can see a bunch of people are smelting away, working their little butts off. Now, if I go over to the kitchen where people are cooking, I can see all the other cooks that are cooking up their food and getting ready for a new adventure. I can come over to the tanner and I can turn my raw leather into coarse leather or rugged leather, depending on obviously my level. I think that World of Warcraft really should have this type of system in place for professions. A lot of people would feel that, you know, this might necessarily be a bad thing to add into World of Warcraft. However, I think it's a great thing because it means that players actually need to go to towns, actually need to go to cities to actually experience what it's like in a city to go and craft. There should be crafting stations for each. Now, I know blacksmiths have to use a blacksmith hammer. They have to use a forge to actually be able to smelt stuff. I understand that, but there should be one for tailors as well. I feel that tailors should have to work like near a tailor shop or everything like that. I think all the professions should have a specific place in each town or city that they can coalesce and basically do their workings in that area. That will promote a more healthy gaming environment for other players to meet one another and just do crafting on a whole. It creates a more of a social atmosphere. Instead of auction houses just being filled to the brim of people buying and crafting and then selling, it promotes more of a social atmosphere of actually using your city. You know, Stormwind would actually be used as a place for players to go. It wouldn't just be, you know, the main auction houses that are like filled, everything else just people that aren't bothered. This type of thing is a really positive thing that if added to the game would really improve on a whole. A lot of people wouldn't be happy with it and probably would throw their toys out the pram. They would be very upset about it, which I completely understand. However, what they don't realize is the effect that this will have on the game would be massively positive. Yes, it would mean that you have to travel a little bit further to do crafting and stuff like that, but it also means that you get the chance to go back to towns and back to cities, and there would be an actual reason to do this stuff rather than just ignoring towns and cities and focusing on the simplicity of quests. For this one, I'm actually going to turn off my webcam so you can see everything correctly. These are all of the professions that you can have in New World. And I'm not showing you this because, you know, all the professions that you can just have in New World. I'm showing you this because every single profession that you can see on this screen here gives you actual real character experience whenever you craft or level up. So say I want to just... all I want to do in the game is go and collect a bunch of herbs, go and collect a bunch of meat, go and collect anything there is out there to do cooking, and then come back and I do my cooking crafting. Boom. I'm actually getting real experience on my character whilst doing cooking. If I want to do some jewelry crafting, I can go out, find some ores. You know, I get some experience for actually doing the mining as well. Then I come back and I do some jewelry crafting. I will get experience for doing jewelry crafting. If I just want to become a New World tree cutter, then I can literally go out, find trees and cut down trees, and I'll get experience of cutting down trees. I can come back, bring that wood back and turn it into actual refined woods, and I also get experience for that, not just towards woodworking but towards actual character experience. This is something that Blizzard would really do well with adding into World of Warcraft. If World of Warcraft you actually leveled up by simply leveling up something like blacksmithing or leveling up something like tailoring, simply leveling those professions would gain you extra experience. Players would also feel the need to level up their professions along with their characters. But now, though, in World of Warcraft, you don't feel the need to level up your professions until you get to maximum level. What's the point? Why would I level up tailoring until I get to level 60? It has zero benefit to me. All the gear I can just buy from the auction house for pennies. I may as well just wait till I get to level 60 and then craft stuff that I can sell on the auction house. There's absolutely zero benefit, but if there's a benefit of leveling it whilst you're a lower level, it's super satisfying and it makes the game more fun to play. That's one of the things that I love doing in New World, is simply just going out and gathering, whether it's mining, logging, harvesting, or tracking and skinning, and then coming back and doing a little bit of each of these crafting professions as well. Now, with that being said, I am going to go on to say there is so many professions in New World that World of Warcraft could really learn from. I've said this already, I feel like we should be able to cut trees in World of Warcraft. If we had player housing, we would be able to make furniture to put in those player housing. Obviously, you've got mining, got fishing and everything. Fishing's a very basic type of of secondary profession. It's not very good in World of Warcraft. It's kind of like not used by a huge amount of people anymore because it's so simple. It's so boring. Tracking and skinning. That's an interesting one. Skinning in itself is very similar, but the whole idea of tracking, of actually finding beasts as well, is an interesting idea. It's not just about the skinning of the beast, it's also finding it. I like that. That's part of a profession as well. Then you've got all the other professions such as, weaponsmithing, armor smithing. So that's like blacksmithing, right? Then you've got your woodworking, your leatherworking, your smelting, your weaving, your stone cutting. There is so many different features that World of Warcraft could add on a whole for all professions that they're really missing a trick for just expanding the World of Warcraft universe. All this furniture in Stormwind, how did it appear? Who made it? There's no profession to learn how to make furniture. So who made it, huh? Blizz? Now, one of the things that New World is missing that World of Warcraft has done really well is the diverse abilities that you can have on your character. New World has abilities, but they are quite sorely lacking, in my opinion. The abilities in the game, there's only 3 abilities per weapon, and you obviously get the choice of 2 weapons. So at the moment, I'm playing with the hatchet, and I'm playing with the bow. Although I absolutely love playing with the bow and the hatchet, I feel that 3 abilities is sorely lacking for the New World universe. See, right there, I've done all my abilities now, and I kind of feel like a little bit lackluster about all of the things that I could have potentially done in game. Now what? I've just got to use basic shots here. This is basic attacking. I like it in New World because it's more about like the dodging, the using cooldowns at specific times, the aiming, they're just being careful of what your enemy is casting. But I really think that New World could expand this and increase the amount of abilities. In World of Warcraft, you are slightly overwhelmed with abilities, and that puts off a lot of players in World of Warcraft from joining. My girlfriend is one of them. She won't play World of Warcraft because there is so many abilities. There can be up to 30 or even 40 abilities that a new person has to get to understand about their character. This is really good because it means that your characters are really diverse, and that encourages a certain level of skill to play the game. However, this is also negative because it's too much for a new player to take on. Simplify it, and that will improve the game. However, for New World, I'd say 3 abilities is not enough. It's nowhere near enough. You could really expand upon this and add more abilities. We could definitely fit 5 abilities. And I'm not being funny, but I don't really understand why the abilities are always keybound to the letters when they could have easily gone for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the healing could have been Q and E. The healing could have easily been Q and E, a bit like Diablo was. That was one of those things as well. Now, I showed you how the bow works. I want to show you now how the hatchet works. Let's find an enemy. Ah, wolf. Boom, straight in the face. Let's try one of my abilities. Let's go berserk and then use my F ability. Boom, look at that. And then boom, a Q ability. And now I've got no ability for 10 seconds because there is so little amount of abilities to use in game. Now, this next one's really hard to compare because, there's both good things and bad things about it for both games. I love in New World how that I can shoot this wolf over here. If I'm skilled enough with the bow and I can actually aim it well enough, I can shoot that wolf all the way over there. Even though they are really far out of sight, I can still hit that wolf and it'll come running at me. It won't fall out of aggro range with me. In World of Warcraft, you have to be close enough to a target in order to cast your abilities or even shoot a target with a bow or a gun or anything like that. There's like 0 skill involved with the aiming side of things. And as a PC player, this could be a really good thing to improve on if World of Warcraft was ever remade as like World of Warcraft 2 or anything like that. This also does mean that on New World, sometimes you do end up with a situation where you miss a target, and it can be really frustrating, especially when, for example, you're shooting a target over a fence. A lot of the time, fences in New World are slightly glitched and the hitbox is actually bigger than it appears on screen, and therefore your arrow just goes into the fence even though you're looking clearly over the fence. That can be really frustrating, but something that you don't experience in World of Warcraft because your ability will just go straight through the fence. That's something that WoW does really well, but additionally, it would be really cool if certain abilities had their range really increased. This would just be something difficult for World of Warcraft to do. I think that they would have to add like almost an aimer for like certain classes like hunters to be able to like use their abilities actually at a range like so, because it doesn't make sense that a hunter can't shoot their bow like this. They have to wait. Now they can shoot their bow. Now the targets got close enough. I feel like that would be a really good thing for them to add into the game. Another one is very similar to World of Warcraft, how World of Warcraft has an auction house. In New World, you actually have a trading post, which is only for that specific town. So you can only sell things to people in that town. It won't be sold to other people in other towns. It's just that town in particular. That obviously has its downfalls and its improvements, but on a whole, one thing I really like about New World that World of Warcraft should add into the game is when you sell something, for example, let's try and sell this animal eye here. When you sell something, it automatically finds the lowest price there, and it will automatically put that in as your price for that item. I can change it to 1 day and then simply click place order, and I'll wait for someone to buy that. Super easy. In World of Warcraft, a lot of the time you have to select them, and a lot of the time it badly selects. Sometimes you end up selecting a really high auction, and then you wasted your deposit fees. It's very frustrating. Additionally, if I want to buy something, here, let's go and just say, let's look for some iron arrows. So I actually need to buy some iron arrow. So let's go iron arrow, and I can simply select one of the orders, and straight away, what have you noticed? It shows the lowest price at the top. Now in World of Warcraft, it will naturally show the lowest price, but sometimes it glitches out and it shows the highest price instead, which is very frustrating on a whole. But let's go ahead and buy that. I really love this whole like mover here that you can kind of select as much as you want. I really think that's a good addition to the game. I'm going to buy, I think, 500 here. I think that will do us nicely. There's no mailbox. Where's that item gone? Straight into your bags, Erosium. That's crazy. I can't believe it. No, me either, my friend. I absolutely love that this goes straight into your bags with no mess about, no running to a mailbox, no useless running for the sake of it. It's very satisfying just to have it straight away. It's very satisfying when you're running around the world and you've just sold something on the trading post and the money just appears in your bags. That is so nice to see, and it really makes the journey worth it. Player housing in New World is fantastic and is so satisfying on a whole. World of Warcraft, come on, man. You need to have player housing. We've been asking for years for player housing, and we really should have this at this point. It's just an extra Hearthstone, basically, for people in New World, and World of Warcraft should have this by now. It's kind of ridiculous that we don't. I know they previously tried it with things like the Garrison, but the Garrison, let's be honest, it was more like a place to pump resources rather than actually have a place to go and lay your hat and recall back to if you need it. There was no major city portals nearby. There was no easy transport routes to it. It was just a kind of a little bit out of the way and inconvenient to use. Player housing shouldn't be inconvenient. It should be convenient as hell. I really hope that Blizzard put this into the game, because this would really improve World of Warcraft on a whole. If you found this video to be useful, and if you found this video to contain some tips and some things that, you know, World of Warcraft should have in the game that Blizzard should really be looking to add, please leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. If I missed anything, also feel free to add that there. If you disagreed with anything, you're completely entitled to disagree. That's completely fine. I'm not going to be arguing with anyone in the chat. If anyone's rude, then I'll just simply remove your comment. So just try your hardest to work with me on this. I'm trying my hardest to not be one of those people who just hate on World of Warcraft for the sake of hating on it. I really just want to help and improve the game in any way, shape, or form that I can, because I love the game. I really do, and I really like New World as well. I like both the games, and there's certain things I love about New World and certain things I love about World of Warcraft, so I'll probably play both of the games. Massively appreciate you guys watching. If you do want to support me, check out my Patreon, where you can find awesome gaming guides, and the support really, really helps me on a whole. Thank you so much for watching. This is Erosium, out.